anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatever. I'd been too wary for that. A tub had caught it all.
What did he do with the body? You're the raise your hand and tell me. Yeah.
Cut it up a bit before.
He cut it up, so he cut off his head, he dismembered it, so he cut off his arms and his legs, and he ripped up the floorboard in the chamber, and he put the old man beneath it. And there was no blood or anything because he caught it all in the tub. Okay? So he has cleaned up his crime scene. He has disposed of the body. But somehow, we figure out that he has done it.
When I had made an end of these labors, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight. As the bell sounded the hour, there came a knocking at the street door. I went down to open it with a light heart, for what had I now to fear? But there entered 3 men, who introduced themselves with perfect suavity as officers of the police.
My co-workers.
A shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night. Suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police office, and they, the officers, had been deputed to search the premises. I smiled. For what had I to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own dream. The old man, I mentioned, was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house. I bade them search, and search well. I led them at length to his chamber. I showed them his treasures, secure, undisturbed. In the enthusiasm of my confidence, I brought chairs into the room and desired them here to rest from their fatigues, while I myself, in wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath where reposed the corpse of the victim.
Okay, so now you can kind of understand our crime scene here. So, my co-workers, the policemen, show up to the house because of a noise complaint call from the neighbors. They get there and he says, well, it was me, I had a nightmare, I yelled out in my own sleep. So, as he's telling them this story, he's leading them around the house and saying, the old man is gone. See, look, nothing of his is out of place. And he takes him to the bed chamber where he killed him. And he is so confident, so sure of his alibi, of his reasons, that he takes chairs and puts it on top of the very spot where he has buried the old man. Okay? So, he is sitting there in the chair above where he has buried his victim, and the policemen are sitting across from him.
The officers were satisfied. My man had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chatted of familiar things. But ere long, I felt myself getting pale, and wished them gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears. But they still sat and still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued and became more distinct. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling, but it continued and gained definiteness until at length I found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt I now grew very pale, but I talked more fluently and with a heightened voice. Yet the sound increased, and what could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound, much such a sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath, and yet the officers heard not. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noise steadily increased. I arose and argued about trifles in a high key with violent gesticulations. But the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited to fury by the observations of the men. But the noise steadily increased. Oh God, what could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I had been sitting and grated it upon the boards, but the noise arose over and continually increased. It grew louder, louder, and still the men chatted pleasantly and smiled. Was it possible they heard not? Almighty God, no, they heard it, they suspected, they knew they were making a mockery of my horror. This I thought, and this I think. But anything was better than this agony. Anything was more tolerable than this derision. I could bear those hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die. And now, again, hark, louder, louder, louder. Villains, I shrieked, dissemble no more. I admit the deed. Tear up the planks here, here. It is the beating of his hideous heart.
So what gave the man away, or what caused him to confess? The man's heart was beating, and he was afraid that the officers could hear it. Was there a possible way for the man's heart to be beating? No, he dismembered him. He cut off his head. He had killed him. So was the heart actually beating? No. What could have the heart beating came from? Yes.
He was insane, so he might have been like hallucinating.
He could have been hallucinating, or it could be his own heartbeat. His own guilt. His own guilt was driving him to hear the man's heart. All of these are very good reasonings. So what now we are going to do? Remember at the beginning of the hour I told you we are lawyers. And we are either prosecution, we're sending him to jail, or we are defense. We are trying to keep him out of jail. I'm going to pass out a worksheet, and as I pass out the worksheet, I'm going to tell you at your group if you are prosecution or defense. Can I have you two move over here with Donald, and you move over to the group of four as well? Thank you, guys. Okay. So, you guys are prosecution.
No.
You are defense lawyers.
Is this on the grown-ups?
No, this is on. You guys are prosecution. You guys are defense lawyers. You guys are prosecution. Yes.
Okay, good, because I have no clue on how to make something not guilty and we already admitted to it.
All right, I've said you are prosecution, okay? Okay. So if everybody can please write their name on the top of the paper. I will go over the directions and the prompts with you. So I told you guys whether you're prosecution or defense. If you're prosecution, your team's job is to prove that the accused murderer, the narrator, was in his right mind whenever he committed the crime. In other words, he intentionally killed the victim. In cold blood, he meant to kill this old man. That is what the prosecution is trying to prove. If you are defense, your team's job will be to prove that the accused murderer is not guilty by reasons of insanity, meaning he has the insanity plea. In other words, prove the narrator was not in his right mind whenever he committed the murder. You guys think he should not go to jail. He needs help. Okay? So defense is trying to get him off on reasons of insanity. Prosecution said he admitted it himself. Send him to jail. Okay? We're going to do this, and we're going to help you guys prove this through something called a CEI. It's claim, evidence, and interpretation. Who can raise their hand and tell me what a claim is? What is a claim? If I claim something, what am I doing? Yes?
A statement that you're trying to prove to be true.
Okay, and one that you hold is true. Yes, good. So, I was nice. I was a nice police officer. And I gave you guys a claim. The narrator was or was not in his right mind whenever he killed the victim. If you are a prosecution team, then you think the narrator